weakness. It's a sign you're pushing yourself to new limits. Rise above it. Face it head on and let it feel your determination to rise to new heights. Show the world that you are unbreakable, unstoppable, unyielding, and remember, together, we are resilient.
Work. We'll jump back into your episode in a minute, but first let me ask you something. Are you great at what you do, but it still feels like no one really sees you as the go-to expert in your space? You're showing up, maybe putting out content, speaking on a few podcasts, but the visibility, the growth, the income, it still feels out of reach. That's exactly why I created the Experts Blueprint. It's a step-by-step system that I use to help coaches, consultants, and purpose-driven experts finally get visible, grow your loyal audience, and turn their message into income. Inside, I'll show you how to craft your story so people actually remember it, build a platform that works for you 24/7, and create content that builds trust and moves people into action. If you're ready to stop being overlooked and start getting the recognition, the results that you deserve, join the waitlist by emailing me at info@TonyTaylorInspires.com. Let's build something real. Let's get you seen. Welcome back to your episode. Hey, I turned 40 recently, and I've been thinking about something that I just cannot shake. For the first time in my life, I realized I probably have more years behind me than I do in front of me. And let me tell you, when you start thinking like that, like it really changes everything. And it's really been on my mind. My wife said to me the other day, like, what's up with you? Why do you keep talking about this? You keep talking about legacy. You keep talking about the things that you haven't done, the things that you left on the table. You got something you want to tell me? And I'm just like, no, this shit is really been nagging at me. You know, I really want to, when I leave this earth, I really want, when it's time for me to get put in the earth, I want to be ready. I want to be empty. I want to feel like that I've done everything that I have or could have possibly done while I was here on earth. I want to feel like I've fulfilled not only the promise that I've made to myself and the promise that I've made to the people that I love, but fulfilled the promise that I've made to God and to like fulfill my purpose. And sometimes, like, I'm not even gonna lie, I get really wrapped into that. And, I realized that, we don't talk about this enough. I could pretend like most podcasters and just say, you know what, I got this part figured out, but I don't have it figured out. I go where I feel like I'm called, and a lot of times I feel like in the direction that I'm going, I'm like, damn, am I really being called into this direction? Like, what is my life's work going to be? What does my legacy look like? And in the beginning I said I turned 40 recently, but I'm 43. I turned 40 3 years ago, and I've been thinking about it ever since. And that's why I've made some of the moves that I've made recently, because I'm just like, what does that look like? What does empty for me look like? We move through life like we have an unlimited amount of time. Like, we can always start later. We can fix things later. We could say the things that we need to say to the people that we love later. But at some point later, legitimately starts running out. And the question that I've been sitting on is like, what am I doing with the time that I have left? And if I'm being real, there are areas in my life where I know that I've been holding back, playing it safe, waiting, thinking that I got more time than I actually do. Not defending myself publicly to, different ridicules, and where I'm just like, man, I really want to say this, or I really want to do that. This is the truth about this situation. But I don't. But then if I think about, like, what if you had What if you had 24 hours on this planet? What would you be doing? How would you be living? Really, how would you be moving? And I asked myself that, and I'm just like, damn, it would be completely different. And I know that I'm not the only one. I know that there are people that are listening to this, especially my folks that you're where I'm at. You know, that's why people start having these midlife crises, because they start realizing, like, damn, tomorrow really is not promised. I'm moving a little bit slower. I'm forgetting things. Shit, my wife, I hear every day, where's my readers? I'm like, damn, here we are. You know, so I know that there's other people that are moving through this. And, you know that you listening to this right now, you know that there's more in you. You know that there are more things that you've been called to do, that you've been called to say, that you've been called to build, but you keep pushing it off. And here is like what's really been hitting me, and something that I woke up a couple of days with this like fresh in my mind. It was almost like I feel like it was sent from heaven. Purpose isn't something you find later. It's something that you stop avoiding now. So with that, like, I want you to think about, what is that something that you have been avoiding? That's something, like if it's a trip, if it's you running for public office, if it's you going back to school, if it's you calling a loved one and saying, I'm sorry, I miss you, I forgive you. What does that look like? For me, it's looked like something different. It's looked like pushing away from the people that hurt me, pushing away from the people that wish ill will upon me, pushing away from the people that have abused me in the past, pushing away from that, and seeking peace and living and learning more about joy and meditation and listening to the music that really feeds my soul. That's what that's looked like for me. And I want you to really think about, what does that look like for you? Because time is not going to wait for you to feel ready. It's not. Because one day you're going to be here, and then the next day you're going to be gone. I know several people where we've made plans, or like we've been sending texts back and forth to each other. Like, oh, we're going to connect. Let's connect. Let's connect on this day or this day. And then I get a message, oh, so-and-so passed away. Or lately has been this thing where there's people that I've like really been inspired by. And I'm like, I want to get this person on the next podcast episode, or it would be really cool to reach out to him. Then for whatever reason, I don't send them a message and have them come on. And then I read in the news, oh, you know, they passed away. And I'm just like, damn, it would have been really nice to talk to that person. Right. I don't know, man. This is more of not an episode to where I'm like, I got this figured out. This is an episode to where I'm figuring it out. And, you know, I want you to figure it out with me, because I know that we're not all living in a way to where we're like, yeah, this is it. This is exactly where I want to be. This is exactly what I'm doing, and I'm not holding back. Take a listen to this thought from Les Brown on living full so that you can die empty.
I was reading something by Howard Thurman that really grabbed me. He was an advisor to Mahatma Gandhi, to Martin Luther King Jr., and to Albert Schweitzer. And I was reading and I couldn't go to sleep this night. He said the ideal situation for a man or woman to die is to have family members praying with them as they cross over. He said, but imagine, if you will, being on your deathbed and standing around your bed, the ghost of the dreams, the ideas, the abilities, the talents given to you by life, but you, for whatever reason, you never pursued those dreams. You never acted on those ideas. You never used those gifts. And there they are standing around your bed, looking at you with large, angry eyes, saying, we came to you. Only you could have given us life. And now We must die with you forever. And the question is, if you died today, what dreams, what ideas, what leadership, what books, what gifts will die with you? A very good friend that I lost recently, Miles Monroe, said, the wealthiest place on the planet is not in the Far East where there's oil in the ground. It's not in South Africa where there are diamond mines. He said the wealthiest place on the planet is the cemetery. Because there you find potential never realized. There you find dreams never pursued. There you find people allow themselves to be imprisoned by fear and living a small life. Maybe that's why one woman asked in a moment of anguish, what if you live your whole life only to discover it was wrong? Maybe that's why Henry David Thoreau said, oh God, to reach the point of death, only to realize that you've never lived, only to realize that you've never scraped the surface of your potential. Let us say together, live full, die empty.
Die empty.
And that's what's strong.
So again, time does not wait for you to feel ready. Waiting has a cost. Every second, minute, hour, week, month, year you wait, that's a year that you don't get back. Every time that you stay quiet, that's the part of you that never gets expressed. And eventually, it turns into regret. I see people all the time. They're like in their 70s. They're like, oh man, I wish I would have did this, or I wish I would have did this, or I wish I would have did that. And it's just the saddest thing. And I don't want that for you. I don't want that for us. So I have been asking myself, and just like I want you to ask yourself, what am I done waiting on? What am I ready to actually step into now? Not when it's perfect, not when I feel ready, but right now. If you're listening to this, I want you to sit down with the same question. What are you putting off that you already know that matters? What are you want to say, to start, to do, to become? Don't overcomplicate it. Start the thing, say the thing, record the message, have the conversation that you've been avoiding, because the window that you think you have is smaller than you realize. I'm not saying this to scare you. I'm saying it because I'm right there in it with you too, because I know this. I'm not willing to waste the time that I have left pretending like I got more time than I do. I'll see you in the next one. Talk to you later. Whew, that was great. If you enjoyed this podcast, well, I'm sure you enjoyed it. If you're still here with us, what I want you to do is head over to your favorite podcast and streaming network and give us a download. Subscribe to the channel, and also let us know what you think about the show. And from the bottom of my heart, I want to say thank you for the things that you've done. Thank you for the things that you're doing. And especially thank you for the things that you're going to do, because I know that you're going to do something amazing.